Hello, everybody. Today we're going to talk about the situation around China, I would say, particularly in South China Sea and Hong Kong and all this, because situation seems to be getting more and more tense. Yeah. That American attitude towards Chinese Communist Party has been getting tougher and tougher. That I think most people are aware of it. Yeah, but what happened is in the recent weeks or months, we say weeks, the country like UK, like Australia, Japan, they're all getting tough and tougher against CCP. And even Germany, the German chancellor and the German foreign minister had basically kept silent. What happened in Hong Kong is a kind of a very efficient test of where you stand in the question of CCP. And German government almost say nothing, almost very mild reaction on this national security law that CCP pushed Hong Kong to accept. But in the recent weeks, things change very much. How come? There are different theories, but I have my theory. To prove that attitude has changed is, that the whole thing started that Australia, being, not very big country, I think they have something like 30 million people or so, and they took the initiative to demand CCP to be made accountable for the COVID-19 or coronavirus or Wuhan virus or CCP virus, and this is very unusual, and that anger CCP extremely. So how come that Australia was the first one? In the latest 2 months or so, UK has changed their attitude a lot. A typical example is how they treat Huawei. 2 months ago they were still saying, maybe we just keep away Huawei from the sensitive part of the network, but not the other, and so on. Now they decided no Huawei, no new Huawei, and those existing Huawei installation will be cleaned up, in the coming years. So that is a big change. And also in the question of Hong Kong, UK have become much tougher now, and very clearly telling CCP that they have to stick to the Sino-British agreement. And Germany is fantastic. After silence for a long time, and actually, if we stick to the Huawei example, when the German parliaments and the German government are internally discussing about Huawei, the Chinese ambassador in Germany made a speech in a conference, in economic conference, and he said openly to the whole world, he gave a warning to Germany. If Germany expel Huawei from its network, or not to allow Huawei to make business in Germany, then China will do something similar. So he was saying something like, well, I hope Germany should think about their car industries. Well, it's a very pretty clear threat. If you stop me to install Huawei in Germany, then I stop you exporting car to China. And of course, German car manufacturers are heavily dependent on Chinese market. Particularly Volkswagen. 40% of Volkswagen cars are sold in China. That make the German leaders pretty silent in the critique of CCP. So, but even Germany changed. Just maybe 10 days ago, the German foreign minister, after his visit in UK, in London, he suddenly changed and declared that Germany will cancel the extradition agreement with Hong Kong, because Hong Kong now is no different compared to China. So anyway, the attitude is getting tougher. for those people who are interested in international relationship and international politics, you may have observed that unusually, very unusual thing is, for about 2 weeks ago, the defense minister and the foreign minister of Australia flew all the way in an epidemic time and a long, long distance, from Australia to Washington. They flew there, and 2 of them. And after that, the American Secretary of State, Pompeo, basically just the day after this Australian minister left and went home, Pompeo flew to London and met Foreign Minister of UK, and probably he met also Boris Johnson. And after that, 1 or 2 days later, the German foreign minister suddenly, surprisingly, visited London. It was not planned, as long as I know. Yeah? And after the visit in London, Germany's attitude towards CCP changed. So what happened? There are many theories. A lot of details are not made public. Yeah? But if I listen to different people who may have contact with insider, so my belief is the following theory. The Australian government managed to get something top secret, something that can be used as evidence, proving clearly that the CCP spread the virus purposely to the world. Okay? Now, so what evidence was it? The most plausible, most credible theory, because as I say, this is to do with secret intelligence work. As long as they don't make it public, it's difficult to know. So, but I believe it's true that there is a guy called Sun Lijun. He's a very top guy. He works as one of the top guys for the security in China, and also a member of the Politburo and so on. He went to Australia with a recording, probably a USB stick. Inside the USB is the recording of a telephone conversation between top leader in Wuhan and top leader in Beijing. Now you should understand that this Sun Lijun, he is basically a kind of boss of a spy organization in China. And so he can manage, of course, to get such recording. So in this conversation, it was clear that the central government basically gave instruction to Wuhan, don't worry, spread the damn virus to the whole world. Yeah? And this is why we can explain why since 23rd of January, Wuhan stopped all the domestic flights, but not international flights. They would never dare to make such a decision without the backing from Beijing. So, and this is exactly what the defense minister and the foreign minister of Australia brought to Pompeo. And Pompeo is very happy because actually the American intelligence found out similar thing already, but not exactly that case. But that recording is, of course, is a fantastic evidence, because you guys should know that there is a manager working for the P4 laboratory in Wuhan, and he went to Washington. He is right now in America and has been providing the American a lot of secret information. And then, of course, you have this Dr. Yan I mentioned in my previous episode from Hong Kong, who originally also from China. And so there are more and more evidence. So when Pompeo went to London and showed the UK foreign minister, wow, no more doubt, And when the foreign minister of Germany came to London and listened to the same recording, he is totally also convinced. And as I said in my previous episode, many European countries seem to be very soft in their attitude to CCP because of economic interest. But it's like a human being. You can be very soft in attitude to a guy with whom you are making a lot of money on. Yeah. So although you see he's doing a lot of bad things, you tolerate it. Yeah. But one day when you see that, hey, actually this guy is threatening my life, and then you have to make a choice: your life or business making. Everybody should take the choice of life. So the whole European continent is changing in their attitude to CCP. Even the former communist country in Eastern Europe are all changing. You guys wait and see. The thing is, this guy, maybe I should explain that, why he flew to Australia and give this to his wife, because he, like many other CCP high-ranking officials, they are always afraid that one day even Xi Jinping may make trouble with him. You know, this is the system. Any totalitarian regime is like that. It is not your quality really matter. It's just, you know, who is your protégé, who is the one supporting you, protecting you. If that guy lose power, another guy come up, then you are in bad shape. So that secret recording, he gave it to his wife and asked his wife to keep it secretly so that one day, in case he's in trouble, use that as a weapon, you know, by saying, for example, if you don't let my husband free, I will expose this, and so on. So I believe this is true, yeah, because that explains a lot of things. Look, it is not just the talking getting tougher, it also in action. Someone have counted. There are totally 400,000 soldiers from America, UK, Japan, Australia, India have surrounded China. So China is basically totally surrounded except the border with Mongolia and Russia. Yeah? But Russia is not really a trusted or trustworthy alliance or partner. So they're in big trouble. And I personally believe what is going to happen, you guys should know that America and its allies are prepared for war, but they don't want to have war. But in order to act tough, you better prepare for the worst, and the worst is a war. So what they have done is they have prepared for the worst, and they are now stepping up the pressure on CCP with the hope that CCP may back off, may surrender to accept the Americans' conditions. Then it's fine for reform, for changes, and so on. If not, it may be a war, yeah? And so a regional war. And well, then we will see. We can talk about that in another episode. So thank you for listening and watching. And don't forget, if you like it, click like or subscribe. If you like to support us, then go to Patreon and show your support there. Thank you. Bye-bye.